While I laid my 9-year-old to rest alone, my family was across town sipping champagne. You know that gut-wrenching moment when you think you've reached the absolute depths of despair? I was there, burying my precious 9-year-old son, Caleb. But what came next? A betrayal so cold, so calculated. It ripped a fresh wound in my heart. One I never even knew was possible. The casket was impossibly small, just too small. That was my first coherent thought as they lowered Caleb into the cold earth, his final resting place. My hands wouldn't stop trembling. I tried everything. Pressing them against my black dress, gripping them until my knuckles ached, even shoving them deep into my pockets. Nothing worked. The tears flowed endlessly, silent rivers down my cheeks that I no longer bothered to wipe away. My stomach knotted with each mechanical whir of the pulley system, lowering his tiny coffin. My knees threatened to buckle beneath me, but I forced myself to stand. The cemetery worker glanced at me, waiting for some signal, some sign I was ready for this final unbearable moment. I knew with every fiber of my being I would never be ready. 8 agonizing months ago, the doctors had finally given a name to the monster stealing my son's strength. A rare blood disorder. They said it so clinically, as if labeling it could make it less terrifying. Caleb, my brave, incredible boy, took the news better than I did. His small face was serious but so incredibly determined as the doctor explained the treatments. Will it hurt? He'd asked, his voice steady. Sometimes, the doctor answered honestly, but we'll do everything we can to help. He never complained, not once, through 8 months of needles, transfusions, medications with names I could barely pronounce. Even when his small body was ravaged by fevers that left him shaking beneath hospital blankets, he'd look up at me with those eyes, so much like his father's, and whisper, "I'm okay, Mom. Don't worry. I'm a superhero." And now here I was standing alone beside his grave. The ache of their absence, my parents who should have been there, my sister Victoria who promised she'd always be there for us, Melissa, my best friend since 3rd grade who held my hand through my divorce. It was a physical pain, as sharp as the loss itself. None of them had come. I pulled out my phone, a reflexive gesture I immediately regretted. Victoria's Instagram feed loaded automatically. Photos of her engagement party at the Grand Horizon Hotel flooded my screen. Right now. This exact moment. There she was, champagne glass raised, a diamond glittering on her finger, our parents beaming beside her. The timestamp showed it was posted just 20 minutes ago, while I was listening to the minister speak words that couldn't possibly capture who Caleb was. "Are you doing all right, dear?" I looked up to see Angela, my elderly neighbor, the only person who came today. Her weathered hand rested gently on my arm, her eyes full of genuine concern. For 18 months, she had brought homemade meals to our house when I was too exhausted from hospital visits to cook. She sat with Caleb when I needed to shower or sleep. She never, not once, treated his illness as an inconvenience. "They didn't come," I whispered, the words barely audible. "Not one of them." I couldn't stop remembering Caleb's laugh, the real one before the illness, when it would bubble up from somewhere deep and uncontrolled. How he declared at 7 years old that he was going to become a doctor to fix kids like him someday. The way he'd insist on wearing his superhero pajamas to chemo treatments because superheroes are brave, even when they're scared. "That boy loved you more than anything in this world," Angela said quietly. I just nodded, remembering how Ethan, my ex-husband, had set up an $850,000 college trust fund for Caleb before his company transferred him overseas. Full story on the channel. Link below. Click now and watch what happened next.